Okay. And then I hear myself speak for a minute and I hear myself already. All right. Great. So I think we're good to go. I'm going to start recording also. There we go. It's 7 o'clock. I'm going to share my screen and then, like I said, we'll hand it over to you. Welcome, everybody. Let me start sharing my screen, spotlight myself as well for everybody. It'll be real annoying. Welcome. It is the, pardon me, Friday night workshops. It's Friday night here where I am. It's 7 o'clock. Maybe it's 5 or 6 or 4 o'clock where you are. Maybe it's Saturday morning. Maybe it's super late Friday night. We appreciate you being here. This is the Sequential Artists Workshop, Friday night workshop that we've been doing for more than 1.5 years now, almost 2 years. And oh, wow. Yeah, anyway, sorry. Sometimes you get that time buzz. So anyway, you are at the Sequential Artists Workshop. We're a 501c3 nonprofit. We're a school. We have lots of courses and things like that. Excuse me, at learn.sawcomics.org. That's where you can find out more, including, well, some of these have already started, the first 2, but story structure and basics and how to use them with Beth Trimley in October. And then down below, some things starting in November, and we'll keep talking about those. And next week in this slot on the Friday night workshop, we have Rachel Lindsay, and you'll hear more about that in the chat. There's Beth Trimley's blurb. Also, a couple days left if you're in Gainesville, Florida, to sign up to work with Tommy Parrish, October 16th to 20th. That's in person. This will be the last time I show that, but we're really excited about that. So thank you everybody for donating. SAW survives from tuitions and donations, and we pay the artists, and your tuitions help us pay them. Thank you very much. There's lots of ways to support us, PayPal and Patreon and things. And also you can buy a t-shirt, such as this would make a great comic. You can become a sustaining member, and there are lots of ways to do that. I'll put that in the chat. We appreciate that. Anyway, let's get started. So it's important to announce, please, no inappropriate speech or imagery. We keep it PG-13 on this occasion. No trolling or hate speech, obviously. Share what you do tonight on social media. The hashtag we use is Friday Night Comics, but also you can tag us, Comics Workshop, and Lillie is Lillie J. Harris, I think, but I'll put that in the chat. And you can find us at members.sawcomics.org for more sharing and commenting and stuff. So yay, here you are, Lillie. And there you are. And I'm going to stop sharing if I can figure out how. And I'm going to make you spotlighted. So get ready to see your face all big. There you are. And I'm so happy that we finally connected and got to Friday the 13th. And and I don't know what's in store. It's already Zoom is causing us some problems, but maybe you're here to guide us through it. So my role is to I'll sort of go into the background and I'll like summarize what you do in the chat for people who like that. And I'll just support you any way you need, keep you in time if you need, and then just shout out if you need me.
Okay, thank you. Hi, everybody. Hello. It is Friday the 13th. I'm very excited. But before we get into that, hi, my name is Lillie. I use she, they pronouns. I am a cartoonist from and in Southern Maryland right now. And I'm really excited to be here. Genuinely very, very excited. Typically, and I was talking about this honestly with friends at the time, I've done like lectures and workshops, and it's from a very like educational lecturing background. So this is a real treat that there's nothing to necessarily like teach in a kind of hierarchical sense. We just kind of get to be in community together, draw together, show each other work. Very low stakes, very low judgment, if any judgment. So this will be very, very nice. Super, super quick background on me, I suppose. I pulled what I could like physically from my studio. So I made this book. It's called Wilderness. You can pick it up from Radiator Comics specifically online, or if you're in Miami, but still online, Radiator Comics. It is about familial trauma, werewolves, and all that really fun stuff. I was also in a nonfiction anthology called Turner Family Stories with a slew of other amazing cartoonists, and it details Daisy Turner's life, who was a wonderful Black woman from Vermont, detailing the history of her family and her legacy. And besides like books with spines, I do a lot of like horror mini comics. I'm working on another comic at the moment that I plan on self-publishing. And when Tom hit me up to do a Friday night series, he gave me a couple of dates, and I was like, okay, I want to do Friday the 13th because that's the kind of person I am. And so just having that date off the bat was the jumping off point to figuring out like what this workshop could be about in a way that's still very accessible and not too spooky, like still kind of spooky, but not off-puttingly so, which I tend to veer. So that is why we are going to do Unlucky Memories. And again, from a personal standpoint, I tend to do a lot of my comics and works in general based on fiction. So of course you pull from your own life, but it is still through the vehicle of things that are not true. So this will be a very fun exercise for me to kind of get more in the spirit of memoir. And so if you are someone who like makes diary comics or daily journaling comics, you might already have a leg up. But if you're like me and tend to do things more fictionalized, we can still kind of blend that together, just pulling from our own experiences still. I have a incredibly short slideshow. I'm talking like 4 slides. It's fine. I promise. It's very short.
We
but
love slides.
Thank you. I was like, I don't have a lot, but I do have a couple. It's literally 4 things. So I'm going to share my screen specifically. There it is. The slideshow. And we're going to pretend like it's already full screen. Nobody look. Okay. So, so this is how my personal earth sign brain works. Like I try to find parameters for how to define things. So if you find yourself even struggling to think like, how do we even interpret what an unlucky memory is? These are my parameters. They do not have to be yours. But if it helps you to kind of get into the mindset of going back into the mental archives and figuring out a memory, these are the 3 things that I pulled from. So for me, defining an unlucky moment, one of those things to me is something that incites a, oh, of course, this would happen to me kind of reaction, like a stereotypical, like, oh, shucks, okay, cool kind of thing. The second option for me is a situation where the consequence outweighs the original action. So it's like maybe on the scale of deservedness, like something you did was like a 2 and something that happens to you was like an 8 or something. But to me, the most important one, the third one, is it has to be something that's at least a little bit funny, even if only in retrospect. This is not only for my sense of comfort, it's not like, don't tell me about sad things, but I think something unlucky kind of incites this like, oh, haha, like kind of at your own expense kind of thing. So if that's helpful for you to try to figure out, does a memory I have kind of hit one of these marks or maybe 2 of these criteria or all 3, that might be a good place for you to start in brainstorming which memory to kind of delve into. I will resist the urge to do show of hands. Like I'm so used to being like, okay, participation. But I am interested if anyone came in here like already with like, this is the memory I'm going to work on. Like I saw this promo or whatever, and I already knew the comic I'm going to do. That's really cool. I honestly have done that because I am the one who decided this fate. But if you don't have any idea what memory you're going to draw from, if you even have an unlucky memory, we're going to do a quick exercise so that hopefully you can get those juices flowing and remember what a memory might have been that was unlucky, but still kind of funny and not sad. So in the next slide, we're going to brainstorm. So we're going to do some stream of consciousness, sketching and writing. And by stream of consciousness, I mean, it does not have to make sense at all. No one is going to see this page. It's just going to be 5 straight minutes of just writing whatever words come to you. When you think about a certain memory, if you're thinking, was that something that was bad luck? Was that something that was unlucky? What happened? So we're just going to take 5 minutes. If you have a sheet of paper or your sketch pad or a pen or a pencil, we're going to go until it's perfect time. Let's say 7:15, just because I don't want it to be on 7:14. Let's go until 7:15 and just writing out words towards a specific memory just to get those juices flowing creatively. It sound good?
Sounds good. Till 15 minutes after.
Yeah.
I got it. Chat, brainstorm, 5 minutes, stream of consciousness, sketching, writing to jog your memory.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. You want to play us some music? You don't have to.
I was going to say, put on the spot.
No, I know. That's unfair.
I'm sorry. I trust that y'all have your earphones in and you can play your music. I don't want to bombard you with like.
That's true. That's
Sam
true.
Cooke or something.
Everybody put on your own music. And the instructions are in the chat. If you need them, you can just scroll up. Thanks.
Angie, I did say Sam Cooke. A friend of mine many years ago gave me like an official Sam Cooke poster from like the 60s. I have like an official Screamin' Jay poster. I love them. And also thank you, Holly, for the compliment. It's very sweet. Okay, I'm gonna mute. So Tom put in the chat, what if it's unlucky, but we brought it on ourselves? That's no judgment. I mean, it's not like a wrath of God kind of situation. As long as, yeah, I think as long as like it's a situation where you can kind of laugh at yourself at like the outcome of it, I think that'll qualify. And also that gets into the next slide after this. So.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, I did something I shouldn't have done, and then it all came down. And it felt unlucky because it also felt random. It wasn't a direct cause and effect, but I'll shush. I'll let everybody else read.
No, it's okay.
So Nancy and Kama have some questions in the chat.
Oh, I see. So Nancy, we can actually talk about this, or I can talk about it now. If it's helpful for you to think of making a comic in terms of a beginning, a middle, and an end, then you can stick with 3 panels. You can always expound on that. You can play around with length and like sequence and timing. But in order for you to just think about one thing happens, here is the inciting incident, and then here's the reaction to that, just 3 panels, you can think of it in terms of that. And it came a comma, you don't like any of your ideas? I mean, I would imagine that makes a lot of sense if they're personal things that have happened that is like not great to think about. But if you need help brainstorming, we can do something else in about 2 minutes. So if you have an idea, but it doesn't necessarily fall within the realm of bad luck, if it's easier for you, or if you feel more comfortable doing so, if you have more of a good luck thing, like something that's incredibly lucky that comes to mind, you can run with that too. So you can kind of flip this prompt on its axis if you want to. It's 7:15.
All right.
Okay, so we have, maybe some people have actually sketched and started the comics making process, or we have all just like stream of consciousness wrote a couple words just to get ourselves thinking in terms of memory. I'm skipping all over, trying to close out this DM. Oh, well, you're all just with me. But here is the fun part. We are actually going to start making our comic. The only thing that I want you to keep in mind when you're making it, genuinely like the only rule is note this really wonderful rule, which is the Alanis Morissette ironic song, which is there are a lot of people that were upset with her because they were like, what you're listing in that song are not ironic things. But guess what? It doesn't matter because she made a song. So no one is going to judge you in terms of like, is that really something that's unlucky? Or is that really something that's lucky? Like, does this really fit within the parameter? The most important thing is that Alanis made that song and that you are making this comic. Like, that is the most important thing. So try not to feel too stressed about like, is this falling within the prompt? If you feel inclined to make it in terms of this memory comic, then make it. That is the only rule. Oh, thanks. Okay, so now is the actual fun part. Not that this hasn't been fun, but we're going to make this comic, and we're going to make this comic for, let's say, does 30 minutes sound good? Like maybe ending at like 7:45-ish?
That would be fine. Are we looking at, is it 3 panels, 4 panels? What do you think?
Yeah, and so someone brought this up, but they're kind of asking how long the comic should be. If you, maybe you're not used to making a comic, I think it's best to start with 3 panels, just in terms of thinking of the first being the beginning, where you are in the story, the middle or the second panel being the unlucky thing that has happened, and then the last panel being your reaction, the consequence, like how you are responding to that thing. So that's a good place to start. If you feel more comfortable making 4 panels, 6 or 8 panels, you can. If you just want to have a full page and no panels and just draw, you can. But if you need that structure, I think 3 panels are a good place to start.
Okay. And you know what I think, if you don't mind, I think
Yeah.
ending at roughly 40 minutes after is pretty good, actually.
Okay.
And so, and that gives us like sort of a little more than 5 minutes per panel if we're doing 4 panels, and it gives us more like 5 minutes per panel if we're doing 3. So that's usually about good, I think.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
So I'm gonna
We got a
turn
second screen for
on.
you?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn this on. I think, did I just do it? Oh, look at that. Start video. Is it on? Oh, I'm gonna stop sharing. That might be what it is. Oh yeah, and then confetti. I put confetti here because I was proud of us.
Oh,
So
that's
now
real. That looks digital.
it's actual digital confetti.
Oh, it's actual digital confetti.
Yeah, I was like, and then we did it. Okay, let me stop sharing so you can
Gotcha.
see.
Okay, how funny.
Um, there we go. Okay, so there should be another screen of mine that is up that shows me also like drawing along with you on my little sketch pad right here.
I'll spotlight that as soon as I find it. It'll take me a moment.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there you are. Spotlight.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. And what are you going to do? 3 panels, 4 panels?
I'll do 4 panels. I'll do 4. And
Sorry to bother you again. Were you doing free writing, or did you already come with an idea?
Oh yeah, so I wrote some stuff in terms of free writing, but I came with an original idea, and then upon free writing, I like wanted to do another one. I wrote like, oh yeah, I can see. I wrote like foot broken because I broke my foot in a mosh pit when I was younger. I wrote drawing pad because that's going to be the one I do. So I will not talk about what that is. I will just do it.
We'll watch.
Okay, cool. I'm sorry, I'm right-handed. You might not be able to see until the panel's done. What is I? Trying to remember what my old apartment looked like.
Wait, is this where you broke your foot? No, that was a different one.
Oh
Sketchbook is where.
no. Yeah, I was a little baby young adult when that happened. This was probably like 3 years ago, the sketchbook or the drawing pad incident.
Oh,
And the quality might not be great on my phone, so when I'm done, I'll put it up to my laptop.
I love watching people draw.
I'm glad.
I think everybody does.
It is really calming, especially if it's like a live stream. So this is a folly that I tend to fall into a lot when I make like sketchbook comics where I forget that I have to put the text in. There are some people put the text in first and then they draw, and I'm like, I'll get to it. So this is me getting to it.
And then there's no room.
I'll make room.
You say you were in Southern Maryland?
Yes.
Is that near the Bay?
No, that I always say Southern
Oh, no.
Maryland because if I start naming places, people typically don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
So
probably.
it's like I live in Clinton, so it's near like Waldorf, La Plata. I always say it's like 90 minutes from Baltimore, like 40 minutes from DC. So like in a little
Oh, okay.
pocket. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
St. Mary's College, probably, yeah, like probably 30 minutes from St. Mary's. I'm in PG County.
PG?
Yeah.
Like, are those initials or is that what it's called? Is
Oh,
that
Prince George's.
oh
I get so used to, I'm like, it's PG County. Like, it's Prince George's County, man. Oh, cool, Maria. Oh, yeah. Carol peeped the Frog and Toad. I got that at SPX this year. I wish I could name drop the artist, but it's so cute. It's so funny to me. I'll zoom in a bit more, be closer. I'll try to put it, yeah. I'll
Oh,
try
that
to
looks
put it like
great.
that.
Yeah. You still have
Thanks,
room to
Lee.
draw if you do that.
Let's see. Thank you for the suggestion. Hopefully that's good. My hand might be in the way, but
Yeah,
okay.
now we can read it. In April 2021, I was just a few pages shy of finishing my graphic novel Wilderness. Oh, I can't wait to see what happens. Thank you for zooming in. I appreciate this. When suddenly, what? Click, click. Okay, good. We get to see.
Yeah, thank you, Lee. I wasn't even aware. It does look a lot better. Let's see. Mhm.
The dead Wacom tablet. I still don't know if it's Wacom or Wacom. Must
Me
be Wacom.
neither. I'm too
Yeah.
afraid to ask at this point.
Huh.
Also, the funny thing with memory comics is like your memory changes, like it's unreliable. It was only after I wrote this third panel where I talked about the Wacom Wacom, one of those, where I was
Wacom.
like, no, it was like the iOS update. Like what broke was my laptop just decided that it no longer was like functional. Like the tablet actually did not break.
Oh, funny.
But at this point, this is what has been archived forever, is that the tablet did something wrong. We got like 7 more minutes. It flew by. I'm really genuinely excited to see what other people have made.
Like that you're adding the little shadows there.
Yeah. Just having fun with the time that I have. I don't want to just sit here for 7 minutes. Yeah.
Real horror lettering.
Oh no,
Right?
I
No, I
can't.
mean the
No, I'm saying
squiggly.
that I can't escape it no matter what I do. It is though. That was a really horrific moment.
But wait, I thought you said this was a sketchbook story. Was I
No,
wrong?
I might have put sketchbook. I meant like drawing pad, like a drawing,
Uh,
like actual drawing
oh, you might
pad.
have written drawing pad. Okay, and I just
Yeah.
assumed it's a sketchbook. Isn't that funny? Yeah.
Like traditional, all that stuff.
Mr. Clark puts in the chat. I heard that
Mhm.
you pronounce well, WACOM
Yeah.
like this, but I don't know if it's true or not. What do we do with dogs? We walk them.
Walk 'em. Oh, like walk 'em.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. I mean, at this point, I have no allegiance to any pronunciation. So
Yeah.
walk 'em sounds good to me.
That is literally the first time I've heard anybody say this is how you pronounce it. So
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
Yeah. Walk 'em. Thank you.
So funny how these technologies come and go.
Yeah. But now I feel bad because walk 'em has been nothing but good to me. This
Yeah. I love
like
my
it's
old
been
cheap
great.
ones too. I had these like tiny ones that worked really well, and
Mhm.
new operating systems don't seem to adapt too well to them. All right. We can invite sharing. I know it's a little bit early, but usually we'll get a couple, and you and I could start if you want,
Okay.
and you
Let's
could
do
show
it.
yours. Oh, we're already getting some hands. I'm going to put mine
Oh,
up too.
okay. I'll be
Right.
very quick with mine because I already talked through it. But yeah, back in 2021, when I was making Wilderness, I made it in 8 months, which is not advised. It's very, very short amount of time. It's terrible, but I made it. But at the tail end, my tablet, or it is archived that my tablet broke. It was actually my computer, but I just put in April 2021. I was just a few pages shy of finishing my first graphic novella, Wilderness. I had a shaved head, awful posture at the time. when when suddenly, what click click click, a dead Wacom tablet, and then a big groan, and then it took days to make it to the only Best Buy in town, but eventually I bought a new one. Find everything okay? So that is mine.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I'll
Made
stop.
it.
Yeah.
And so wait, how much did it take you to finish? Like how many days after getting the replacement finish it?
It probably like a week and a half. It was like right at the very end.
Cool. And okay, Lillie, I'm going to ask you to raise your hand one more time. We'll try it again, but
Okay.
it might lower it automatically.
I
Luckily,
raised it.
I got a cancel notification. It was like, do you want us to lower your hand? And I said, no, don't lower it. So look out for that. Meanwhile, we'll start with Marlene, and then I guess I'll show because I rose, and I kind of like this one. Okay, Marlene, I'm going to ask you to unmute, and then I'm going to spotlight you. Here we go.
Sorry, I'm just getting the background clear. Okay, so thank you for having me, Tom. In the 1970s, early 1970s in South Africa, where I was born for the benefit of our host, my mom decided that we would go on a picnic to the creek, which wasn't very far away. And she, prepared some sandwiches in a basket. We took some food and fruit and stuff. And another bunch of people came with us. And as you can see, I drew a reel because back in the day, there were no videos. And, we sort of used Instamatic cameras and other such little cameras or reels to capture the moment. Anyway, so my 40-year-old aunt was with us, a non-swimmer, and she jumps into the creek where it was 8 meters deep. So that is, my setup, my orientation for my narrative. And unfortunately, I was close to her. And in a moment of panic, she was flailing her arms. And because I had long hair, she grabbed me by the hair and in. So this is me yelling out, help! And so my mom, she must have been watching what was happening, into the water, a non-swimmer as well, to come and rescue me. So the next frame shows where I'm going underneath the water, which is the first thing that happens to one when you drown. And I managed to come up again later. And only my dad and my uncle could swim out of a number of 15 people. And he couldn't save either of us because he was too far away. But he managed to get my aunt. And my mom came towards me. She put out a stick that she gathered, I don't know from where. I grabbed on the stick, held tight, and she pulled me towards the edge of the creek.
Good.
So that's the inciting moment.
Mm.
Yeah. And then this one here shows how relieved I am to have a gasp of air and survive the whole incident. But what was funny was back in the day, I only wore a night dress because that was my bathers. And the picnic spot was a spot that wasn't really meant for going for a picnic. And as you know, in apartheid days, South Africa, there were no amenities for people of color. So we just went to any tree where there's a bit of water, summertime, to spend time, cooling off. Anyway, so that was the funny, but long hair with a night dress. And my brother managed to put the photos together later in 1990 something. And he put all those snaps, as we call them, pictures together for us to view the whole incident of what happened on that fateful day where almost 2 of us drowned.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's very, very harrowing, but it's beautifully rendered too. Like even with the way you've done the edge of like the film, it's really, really interesting.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Marlene. We'll go to
Thank
Catherine
you.
next, and then Vicky, then Erica. Here we go. So Catherine. Are you unmuted, Catherine? You can, I think.
Okay,
There you go.
is that good? Okay.
Yeah.
So this has to do, I used to teach middle school. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it, Miss H.
And
Miss
can you
H.
hear me? You can hear me? So it was I don't know quite how to put the settings, so maybe you can help me with that later, but we were coming back from sketching in the park and the kids were hanging out the window and they were my other class, so I was pretty concerned. So they were calling out my name and when are we going to the park? And they were just being usual teenagers. And of course, I was very concerned and I wasn't watching where I was going. And they're being quite naughty, some of them. And then I hit a pole. And
No.
all of that cheekiness turned to these they were already amazing, but they all attended to me and gave me first aid. And I had to get stitches. And it was quite an exciting time for all of us. So,
Goodness.
yeah, so that's that. Thanks.
Thank you. Also, the way that you've like overlaid the speech bubbles, I think is really, really lovely, especially in the first one, like they're overlapping.
Oh,
You can
thank
really
you.
you can really get a sense that it's like kids screaming for your attention.
Yeah, they were great kids. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks. Okay, we'll go to Vicky next.
Is it muted or unmuted?
No, you're good.
Okay, cool, thanks. Okay, so I was trying to think of something unlucky and it was funny, everything like made me really sad that was unlucky. So then I thought of something that felt like it was really unlucky when it was happening, but it turned out to be pretty cool. And I'm trying to figure out how I can get I've got the blur thing on because
Yeah, you'll have to turn it
little bit.
off
Yeah.
on your,
do I know how? You might have to go to the next
on your
person.
video settings. If you want to give it a moment, we can come back to you. Video
Yeah, you
settings.
guys go to the next person, please. Yeah, thank you. Okay,
If-
thank you.
If Erica is ready, we will go to Erica. Otherwise, we'll go to Dave. They have to come on video. There we go. We'll go to Erica. Here we go.
Hi.
Should be able to unmute. Hi.
Hello. Okay, so here's mine. Let me see that.
Yeah, walk us through. It's a little blurry, but I can see it now though. Yeah.
Okay, so I just got my last relaxer and I was driving with my little baby in the back. Relaxer is when you relax the curl out of your hair. So I had hair appointment. And that's me and my daughter in the back in her car seat. And she's like, maybe 6. She can't really get out of the car seat by herself. So anyways, we're home and we got in the garage. And then that's the second panel is me closing the door, getting out and coming around. And it was really like snowy. It had snowed a lot. And then we had one of those like cover things for the garage floor to keep all the stuff that comes off of your car from getting in the garage. So it's all kind of puddled and it's all this melted snow. So that's me walking to the back because I need to go to the trunk. And so then that's me with my boots up in the air because I catch and I slip and I fall. And then the next one is me falling straight on my back on the concrete floor of the garage. But I kept my head up so that my hair wouldn't get messed up.
That's really it.
So it was dry and that's a speech bubble saying, what? Like, I just can't believe it. Like, am I really on the floor? So then I like jump up and that's the last panel is me like crouched down with my arms out. Like, did that just happen? And then I was like a little bit wet and I was all freaking out that my daughter's going to be stuck in the car. But then, I was so much in shock. So then I went, got her out of the car. But then I was like so sore after that. But that's what happened.
I'm very glad you're safe, but the idea of you protecting your hair is so funny.
Always.
Listen, this is great. Even the little snow on the boots when you're airborne is really funny.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Erica. Awesome. All right, we're going to go back to Vicky. It looks like she's unblurred. Oops.
Okay.
Oops, wait. Sorry, there we go. Zoom control freaking out again. There we go.
Okay, so then I thought of something that was kind of, thank you for waiting for me.
Oh,
That
yeah.
that felt unlucky, but it ended up pretty cool. So here, I haven't finished with the color, but this is me, and I'm sitting on my bed and I'm like, oh my God, my first blind date ever, and he's 45 minutes late. I mean, it was so awful. Oh man, he sounds so nice on the phone. What if he never shows up? So I'm just pretty stressed. And I tell my sister in the next one, Linda, go stand by the window, peek out of the curtain. If he shows up and he's not cute, tell him I'm not here. This is so cool. I shout to my sister in the next room. She's like, okay, okay. She goes to the window. Linda spots him. He's late because he fell asleep after playing golf, which is, you know, anyway, I won't tell you guys what I think of golf at this point in my life. I know there might be some golfers out there. I'm sorry. She opens the door because it turns out he is cute. He's pretty cute. And I try to nonchalantly like walk down the stairs, which is right by the door. We go to the movies. It's The Greek Tycoon, which dates me completely. And it's pretty fun. We talk afterwards and it's pretty fun. He drives a light blue VW Bug that matches his eyes. I like him. Reader, I married him.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, really flipping expectations today. That was genuinely a roller coaster. It's very, very sweet.
Indeed.
There's a lot of awes in the chat.
He's a really cool guy. He's trying to call me, so I didn't think I would start crying.
Oh no, that's really, really sweet. It's beautiful.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for sharing.
I have to ask David to unmute, so hang on a second. I don't know if I did that yet. All right, you should be able to unmute, David.
Great. Hi. I didn't get too far on the story part, but I did some awesome doodling. I'll try and share. Let's see. So I thought of Shoe. I think there was a cartoon when I was a kid, an editor was like, hello, is anyone home?
Can you raise it up a little bit higher? Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
How's that?
That's much better. Yeah, a little higher. Yeah, we can see it now.
Okay, I can't. And then I drew some Japanese fish, or they're universal fish, but tuna, puffer fish, and mackerel. There we go, the clam.
Oh.
And let's see how I do this. So I raise it higher. I'm just not used to sharing my my drawing pad. Sorry.
If you raise it a little higher, then we might be able to see all the way at the bottom if you have more drawings there. Yeah, so we can see a person like raising their hands up happily a little bit.
Yeah. Oh,
Can you,
awesome.
Can you move it to your left?
It's my left.
Maybe to your right. Sorry.
Yeah, there they are.
I see that.
Right.
There we go.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, it's just a doodle. You know, just so thanks for being an audience.
Thanks,
I
David.
really love these. Thank you.
Oh, thanks. I love the little smile on the sea green too. That one fish I caught, it was very cute.
Yeah, I love those fish. Thanks. All right, we're gonna go to Kama next. And Kama, you want me to share my screen, right?
That would be awesome. Then we avoid the problems with me pointing to the wrong thing.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for sharing again. So I couldn't think of one, but then I was like, okay, I'll share this one. When I was maybe 14, we had this weird competition where we had all the like brainy stuff to compete against, and there were only two real competitors, me and my friend, and we kept trying to kind of tell each other off and like try and be like, I'm lacking English words right now, but like trying to compete a lot. And he won. So, and the winner of the super brainy competition is Mike. Yay, congrats, I guess. I was really disappointed. And then it turns out that the prize was a date, like a romantic date. And I was 14. I was never on a date before. And he probably was never on a date before. And he was like, oh, wow. And who would you like to take out? Kama, which was me. And that stressed me out a lot because I did not know what to do. I didn't expect that to ever happen. And I was so nervous that I couldn't eat. There were like boys running around this because it was in the building that we took the competition in. So there were like younger boys making fun of us from outside, which made me even more nervous. And we have like candles and pizza, which was impossible to eat with knife and fork. And I got really stressed. So yeah, I was just thinking like, what if he wants to make out? What do I even do? What do we talk about? I was so stressed I couldn't think. And then I literally ran away from it. I never explained why. I was just so stressed. I could not. I was so embarrassed as well at the end because I was so awkward.
These are like 4 unlucky things in one comic. There's not one isolated incident.
But maybe the escape, I don't know. It wasn't like it was a nice guy, but maybe the escape was lucky because I was like, I'm not happy here. I'm leaving.
I admire your ability to do that, honestly. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Awesome comment. Thank you so much. That was great. We'll go to Rachel next, and then Kate, and then Ellen.
It's really sketchy and weird, but it is a funny incident. So I'm sitting at my computer saying, online dating is so bleak. Ooh, handsome and a puppy. You should join me for a seminar, the Executive Success Program. Why does he keep bringing that up? That sounds like a cult. It is not a cult. And then that's my iPhone, Executive Success Program. Nexium cult leader arrested.
No.
True story.
Oh, that's wild. That's wild. But also, I love your style though. It's very fun. And like the comedic timing is really great. But my God.
That's a good time to remind people to share these on social media so we can get a longer look. Hashtag, I'll put it in the chat, but hashtag Friday Night Comics and tag us at Comics Workshop and Lillie J. Harris. We'll go to Kate next. Thanks so much, Rachel.
Thank you.
Hello. Okay, mine starts with, fortunately, and it's kind of hard to tell, but we're in my neighbor's yard patio, and there's a tire swing hanging, and fortunately, it was my turn on my neighbor Eddie's tire swing. So I'm like super excited, leaning back, totally into it. Unfortunately, that's when the rope snapped. So that's supposed to be me falling, hitting my head. Fortunately, my mom stayed up with me and my concussion was mild. So it looks like she just is pushing my face, but she's putting a cloth on my forehead.
Oh man.
Thanks. It was fun.
Awesome.
And that ink wash is really wonderful too. Or the brush. Yeah.
Yeah, it was brush pen.
Awesome. Thanks,
Thank
Kate.
you. It's a fun exercise.
Okay, so as usual, I did mine on the on my tablet. If I could share my screen.
Yeah, you should be good to go now, Ellen.
There we go. I spent way too much time on the drawing and the panel layout. So the writing and the panel layouts, the actual drawing, I left myself very little time for. So it's very sketchy, but oh well. So I was flying to Salt Lake City for a nephew's wedding. My flight was scheduled to leave at 7:10 a.m. Attention, passengers of flight 2609. There has been a change in your flight time. Your flight will now leave at 8:10. Okay. Attention, passengers of flight 2609. There has been a change in your flight time. Your flight will now leave at 1 p.m. What? If you wish to change to a different flight, please speak to one of our gate agents. Well, it looks like any flight I would change to would get me there even later. I'm better off waiting. Your flight will now leave at 5 p.m. If you wish to change to a different flight, I'm still better off waiting. Also, your flight will now be leaving from a different gate on the other side of the airport. Sure, why wouldn't it be? At 7 p.m., at 8 p.m., at 8:30 p.m. Fine, next time I'm switching to a different flight. So, yeah, that was the unfortunate event that first came to mind for me. So
It is wild. I love how you're able to so quickly jump from like narration to dialogue. It's really, really like purposely choppy. It's really, really good.
Thanks.
Thanks, Elaine. Awesome. Go to Gail next, then Kathy, then Alice, and here we go.
Okay. Okay, so I'm guessing you can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear
Okay. So my unlucky event goes all the way back to my mom becoming a New York Mets fan. Probably the most unlucky thing that's ever happened to me.
Oh no.
And I'm not really sure why she became a Mets fan, because she grew up in the Bronx. So I'm guessing something happened that made her break up with the Yankees. And also when she got married to my dad, they moved to Queens, and so the Mets were the Queens team, and so she became a Mets fan. So that has influenced my entire life. And you could say that this was the most unlucky thing that ever happened to my sister and me. Here we are wearing our Mets paraphernalia, crying our eyes out. Usually that starts happening around April. Here it certainly did. But see, I can't look at things like this, as all bad. But being Mets fans has also brought my sister and me closer together and close to an awesome community of Mets fans, and occasionally a little bit of joy, usually very short-lived.
That's so fun. And the perspective on that last one is so great. I immediately knew y'all were in an arena, like encircled. It's really good.
Thank you. This was
Awesome.
fun.
Thanks, Gail. Go to Kathy next.
Myself. Oh, there we go. All right. Well, thank you for this. So let's see if it comes in. So it seemed like such a good idea, learning stand-up comedy while going through chemo. That's the first class with a little restroom in the background. It was a classy place. And I pictured laughter, so much fun. She's so funny. Joke 1, joke 2, joke 3. And the only sound you can hear is the flushing of the toilet.
Oh my God.
Yes, it was a little crushing. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh man. Is it
But
any
in
solace?
retrospect, it is kind of funny.
I mean, I was gonna say, is it any solace to know that both of us just like cackled out loud?
Yeah. I mean, it was a crazy time to do it. So, but yeah, the flushing sound I'll never forget.
I also love like the utilitarian, like joke 1, joke 2. Like it's not important. You just need to know I had 3 jokes.
And they landed exactly like that. So
that's great.
And I think I'll just say this one quick thing, because there's other people in the queue that that they all just really wanted the bald lady to do well, so there was that energy too, but I haven't figured out how to put that in here in 4 minutes, but I'm going to get there. So.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right, thanks, Kathy.
Thank you.
I lost Allison. I got to find Allison in the queue because of.
Sorry.
It's okay. Are you able to raise your? Oh, there you are. There we go.
Okay. So my story is we're on our way to our hippy dippy wedding in the hills west of Davis, California, and we see a pileated woodpecker, which is like the woody woodpecker. And it's 6 a.m. This is a very unusual thing to see, or it was in that time, and it was like, oh look, a good omen. And so then after we've done our vows, we had a couple of people playing, and they started playing a jig, and I couldn't stop myself, so I got up and started dancing, and I snapped my Achilles tendon, which sounds like a rifle shot. And but it didn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. It's weird. It didn't hurt. It was like it felt like a snake crawling up the back of my calf, which was really a horrible feeling, but it was not pain. But then I had asked a couple of friends, we're birders, we're bird watchers, and I had asked a friend to find a golden eagle for us, and so he saw a golden eagle across the valley getting mobbed by a couple of red-tailed hawks. So it all worked out in the end, and it was a good memory, and it's been a good story, you know, even though I spent the afternoon in the ER instead of going home on the tandem. So anyway, that's it. Thank you.
Oh man.
Great prompt. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. It's beautiful looking style and everything. Like all the spot blacks and everything.
Thank you.
Great story. Thanks, Allison. We'll go to Chris next, then Nancy, then Christina.
Thanks very much. It took me a long time to think of something. You know, it's one of those funny things like when you say, think of an event from your life, and then you think, I can't think of any events from my life. A couple of years ago, I had a one wheel, and I was riding it across the street from the store, and I saw some neighbors of mine, and I thought, oh, there's Jim and Yvonne. They'll be so impressed. Right at that moment, the mechanism stopped, and I went crashing into the ground. Like, it only has wheels, so when the motor stops, the front end goes crashing, and then you still have momentum and you go. So everything hurt for a week after that. But I still concluded that old age and one wheels are not incompatible. That's my event.
That's so fun. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Yeah, come to Chris for advice if I buy one of those, clearly. Thanks, Chris. We'll go to Nancy next, then Christina, then Edgar.
Unmute myself. Okay, am I unmuted now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, this is when I first moved to Florida. And so we get there and I'm like, oh yes, we made it, you know, like we've arrived. And then this is the smoothest, most perfect sand ever. And out come the fire ants, which I had no idea existed. Oh yes, that's my boyfriend. Look out for the fire ants. So that was my welcome to Florida.
Oh no. I love that last open panel too. Truly show the chaos of the fire ants.
It's true about the sand and the ants down there. Thanks, Nancy. We'll go to Christina next.
All right. So I used to cook on boats, and I got this dream job. I was going to go meet up with a boat in the Bahamas and help sail it back up to Maine. I had never seen this boat. I had never met these people. I can't believe my parents let me do it. I mean, I was 21, but they didn't even say, what are you, crazy? Turned out to be an unbelievably fabulous experience, but it started like this. I had already flown in a teeny tiny plane over the open ocean, very loud, and you put the luggage in the nose of the plane, and when the plane starts up, it sounds more like a weed whacker than a plane. You know, it goes instead of like rumble. So, and over open ocean, I arrived in the Bahamas in the dark, in the rain, pouring rain. I took a cab to the marina only to find out that I paid way too much cab fare. And B, this is not the right marina. It was like one marina was called like the Royal Marina and the other one was called like the Queen's Marina or something. But but it turned out to be fabulous. But that was just like, are you serious? And I was in the bar of the marina and they're all going, you got to go to that other one. And I'm looking at them drinking beer and I'm like, I just want to stop and have a beer.
That's awful. I'm going to echo too what Allison said. The rain, the way you've done the rain is really, really great. But thank you.
Thank you, Christina. Yeah, those panels were nice. Okay, we're going to go to Edgar next. Edgar has a content warning. He told me in the chat, there's mental illness and potential for violence, but no violence. Go ahead.
Violence. No.
Okay.
Well, let me show you. This is called Midnight in My Friend's Apartment.
And we have, here I am lying on a sofa in my bipolar friend's apartment watching a rerun of Alfred Hitchcock Presents. I start to drift off to sleep when a disturbing thought enters my brain. In their minds, both my friend and his borderline girlfriend have a good reason to kill me. And here I am laying on the sofa saying, and in my pajamas saying, yow, do I pack my suitcase quietly and leave the apartment? I debate the question for 2 hours before I decide to stay, and I fall asleep. Postscript, I lived.
I love how interactive all the arrows are pointing. It's like a choose your own adventure kind of feeling.
Yeah, yes, I see what you mean.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Is that bet on wheels, Edgar? You drew wheels.
No, it's not on wheels. It's my poor draftsmanship. It might have been good to take it and leave the apartment with it. And if I'd had an oar, I could have pulled it along the hallway and gone down the elevator.
Like a gurney. All right, thank you,
Yeah,
bud.
you bet. Thank you.
We'll go to Stacy next, and then Mishka, and Michaela.
Hello. It's always hard to follow Edgar's fantastic narration. I'll do my best. So mine is about when I broke 4 bones in my foot. At the end of the first year that we lived in Bali, we moved to Bali 7 years ago from Oz. And it was literally 2 days before we were about to go back to Sydney for the first time in a year. And it was a beautiful morning. I was riding my bike to yoga. I can't wait for our trip to Oz next week. And this crazy dude come flying along the back lane, pushing me into a wall. And I broke 4 bones in my foot 2 days before jumping, literally packing up our villa to move. And yeah, it was not fun, but that was pretty unlucky. One of many unlucky instances living here.
That is not fun, but you're playing with panels or lack of panels is really wonderful. There's a lot of like movement and fluidity. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome, Stacey. Yeah, when I saw that motorcycle coming, I was like, oh no, it's
yeah. So did I.
Thanks. Okay, we'll go to Mishka next. Hi there, Mishka.
Hi, can I share screen?
Oh yeah, I think you should be able to.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Try.
Okay. All right. So this is this started at brunch at my college friend's house. They say, oh no, you can't take the subway to JFK. We'll call a car. Are you sure? I always take the train. That was around noon. Half an hour later, stop being such a cheapskate. You'll miss your flight. I don't know, but now I have no choice. Bye. Thanks for brunch. 45 minutes later, we were stuck in a traffic jam in front of Shea Stadium. I was like, oh no, my flight leaves in just over an hour. JFK is 60 minutes away. And there's me going, I should have taken MTA. I should have taken MTA. I should have taken MTA. Also, I have a gallon pee in my bladder. And then I asked the guy to get off the freeway, even though we were still super late. And let's get out here. I can't hold it anymore. There's no place with a toilet here. I don't care. And we stopped at an old folks home in Queens. And I didn't even close the door. I was in a hurry. And then we got there at 2:20. And there's the mean German lady saying, you are too late. Sorry, that's not a German. He was really mean. And I said, I know, but my friends made me do something I didn't want to. And then a few minutes later, I was in line, and then the angel German Lufthansa flight person said, one for Frankfurt, one for Frankfurt. And I said, I'm one for Frankfurt. And she says, please come, you must hurry. And then at 2:40, that's only about 20 minutes later, I was on a plane in business class.
Oh, that's so good.
How on earth?
And they give you wine and chocolate. It's the only time I'm ever going to fly business class in my life.
Wait, when you were outside of Shea Stadium, what time was it?
Oh, Shea Stadium was what time? 1:15? It took a long time to get there.
don't know how you made it. Oh my God.
That's
I didn't
I don't know
also-
the exact times. All I know is stuck in traffic.
There's something about this P panel that really took me out. And also the little hands on the, I can't take the MTA. There's something about the little hands that's so adorable to me.
Everybody, public transit's more reliable. Okay. I'm done.
Thank you.
So much faster to JFK, that's for sure. Michaela, we'll go to Michaela next. Oh, I have to
Oh, sorry. I have to stop sharing.
There we go.
Am I unmuted?
Yeah.
You are.
I had time to do 2 comics actually. And so I did this little one, which reads, I was found on Friday the 13th, but none of my misfortunes come from that.
Oh.
And then I decided to elaborate on the last one, which is me jumping off this tree and then just missing this branch. And that was when I was a kid, I played Tarzan. So I did the Tarzan yell. And then I hit the branch and I didn't, it was too big. I hit it actually. I reached my goal, but my hand couldn't, close around the branch. And so I fell down. But then I ended up in the hospital for 2 weeks and I loved it. It was like the center of attention. And I got all these comics and books and stuff. So I thought this unlucky moment came from being too wild. And so that's not really being unlucky, is it?
Well, you've seen a lot of comics today where it ends on something really lucky. So I think it's
That's right.
And also, even before you mentioned like you did the vocalization, just reading that, I was like, oh no, that's the Tarzan yell. Like I immediately. That's right.
Anyway, thank you. This was really fun.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Michaela. That's terrific. Okay, we'll go to Lucy and then Aaron, and then let's see. Here we go.
That was really awesome. I loved the first page also of that last comic. So I feel like I'm a klutz, and so this is about some physical misfortune I had. I live with 4 roommates, and so the sink is a daily adversary, but the true enemy is the dish rack. Perhaps I was doomed to fail. Me who runs into door frames and pours coffee on counters and has no body awareness, but I tried. This was my roommate's bowl. But when the bowl balanced, I had hope. And then,
That's so fun. I love that the ellipses gets its own panel. And also like Tom mentioned, that horror font is coming back too. It's really rad. Thank you.
Also, yeah, that moment of hope at the end too. I like that. Beautifully balanced bowl. Thanks, Lucy. We'll go to Aaron. This might be our last one. Aaron, I haven't seen you in so long. It's so nice to see you.
Good to see you too. All right, so I did one in here. I'm going to see if I can, let me see if I can lower that. I already lowered it light some. Let me see.
Yeah, it
okay.
shows up.
We'll start with this. So in the first panel, one day I decided to make a giant batch of soup stock. I had everything I needed: turkey bones, veggie scraps, and most rare, thyme. I cooked it slowly for hours. The whole house smelled great. When it was just right, I carefully poured the contents into a metal colander and right down the sink. I forgot to put another pot under the colander. Later, I was able to laugh about my error. Much later, that is.
I
still think about this every time I put anything through a colander because I just went into muscle memory like I was draining pasta or something.
Oh my God.
But it's
awesome.
That was
It
a lot
was, it was very visceral. I got so upset reading the last panel. It's awesome though.
And I love that title, Laughing Stock. I never thought of laughing stock as stock. What did we see, Lily? You're right that so many of them wound up lucky in the end. You know, there were some that were like, I got married. I balanced the bowl. Yeah, there was some that I got business class. I got drinks and wine or whatever you get in business class. I don't even know. All the way to Frankfurt. No, it's like that's a 12-hour trip or something. Anyway, for a while I was thinking, man, this like unlucky stuff was kind of a bummer, but it was nice. We found a lot of hope in this workshop. Appreciate it.
And sometimes it's nice to kind of like lament in what is a bummer too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of ebbs and flows throughout.
Right on. I'm putting the link for Wilderness in the chat again.
Oh, thanks.
Also going to put see if I can find it. There we go. Links to your Instagram and our Instagram and everything else in the chat. And tell us what's next for you. What you're working on.
Yeah, so I'm working, like I said, on like a new mini comic, so probably 24 to 30-ish pages. And it's a story I really, really love. I'm really excited. I'm practically done with penciling all the pages, so now it's just like inking, assembly. So hopefully sometime by mid-2024 it should be out. And in November, I'm going to Mass MoCA. I have a residency at the Massachusetts Museum of Contemporary Art.
I saw that in your Instagram feed or something like that. That's awesome.
I'm really rad. I'm like, oh yeah, I get to like, not to like belittle what I do, but it's like I get to make my little comics. I get to be here, make my comics. So I'm going to be there for 4 weeks. So if anyone is,
where do they put you up there? Where do they put you up there? Where do they have you stay?
Apparently there's like already housing, so it's like right next to the museum. So it's going to be me and I think 3 other residents at the time. Oh, thanks y'all. I believe they have a open, what is it called? Maybe an open studio session once that happens, probably sometime in December. So if you're in New England and want to like see me, see the studio and stuff, that'd be rad to come by.
Let me know when you're there. I'm about an hour away from there, maybe an hour and a half.
Cool.
That would be super cool. And Mass MoCA is great. I don't know if people are talking about that, but yeah, that's a great museum. Cool. Well, I'm going to ask everybody to unmute and just say thank you. I'm going to click down to the gallery view myself. Thank you so much, Lily.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Way
to go have a lucky Friday the 13th.
Thank you so much.
We are so lucky.
Yeah.
We're lucky. Yes.
You made it really, really great.
Business class all the way.
Thank you.
Bye.
Leg on your next project. A leg on your next
Neil at
project.
Radiator is here. Hi, Neil. It was
Oh,
really nice to
sweet.
meet you at CXC. I meant
Bye.
to. Jamie,
Bye,
I don't know
y'all.
if you did a comic, but share it on social. And I owe Jamie and Ian an email. Anyway, thanks everybody.
I promise I
Cheers.
will. I will. Thank you. It was great.